Alrighty, welcome back, guys and gals. So I hope you can see me okay. It's been a while since I've posted. I've kind of slacked off, but that is because just a whole lot of personal life, working full time, all that stuff. So I don't know if you can see very well, but our window stuff, it's not sticking. Tape is sticking great. Plastic is not. I don't know what it is. It will not stick to this window, no matter what we try, unless we duct tape it, and that's not a good solution. Learned that with the roof. So what today's goal is I bought aluminum sheets to go ahead and just replace it myself. I'm going to go ahead and measure everything out, cut it out, get it etched off, get the new rivets, stick those in. So that will be the main goal, is to post all of that. Our second goal is to have everything prepped by tonight. I want all of this washed down with alcohol to be able to get it prepped. We don't have to worry about outside weather because we're clearly in, shop. So want to be able to get all of that done and give you guys some more content. I know it's been a while. I'm just trying to keep it from being too repetitive, seeing the same things over and over. Another huge change was that we ended up not being able to get the paint that I wanted. Bummer, but apparently it's really hard to find oil-based aluminum primer paint. So yeah, didn't go how I wanted, but I will give you all of those details in a minute on what paint I use, what primer we're using, paint thinner, anything like that. And this is all just a giant trial and error, but I've tried to do as much research as I possibly can. We're going to be spraying all of this on with a spray gun, and so I hope that we can have all of this done by Sunday night. It is now Friday night as I'm recording, and this video is going to be over the weekend, so hopefully we will have all of this done, and then we can get started on the inside. Really hoping we can have this done by Sunday night. Fingers crossed.
We started off by measuring each hole that needed to be patched, just to get an estimate of how long the pieces need to be cut. Now we're starting by marking those pieces off on this big sheet of aluminum that I bought from Lowe's. I believe this sheet was like $70, but it was enough to be able to do the entire Airstream and everything that we needed patched, even including that really big hole in the back. Now that we have everything marked off, what we started with were those green cutters sitting on the table. They are actually like metal cutters, but what we decided to go with were vinyl shears, like for vinyl siding. It cut way smoother than the metal cutters would. They kept leaving like a jagged edge, and that was not what we wanted at all. And so we tried a few different methods, and this for sure worked out the best for us. If you haven't noticed yet, we're not professionals. We don't have a bunch of fancy tools. All that I know is that I wanted these edges round instead of just looking like a piece of metal was placed on them. So we got a ring from a mason jar and are tracing the edges out with a Sharpie and just going back with those vinyl shears and rounding off all of those edges so that the patch has a clean look to it. I was actually very pleased with the way these turned out. No sharp edges, and it has a really clean look to it. here is where you will see all of the details of how we actually did the patch. I know what some of you were thinking with us drilling into the Airstream, but there's already so many holes in it, and this is the only way to permanently fix the holes, is to be able to put a patch over the top. If you can see in that little hole right there, it did not look great. They actually were, all of those empty holes are, there were screws screwed into all of that, and they were pretty large screws. So I'm just wanting something to cover all of that. And this is how you would do a patch for pretty much any size on an Airstream. If you were wondering what is happening right here, these are actually rivets that hold an entire Airstream together. It's like part of the body. What we did was we went to Lowe's, and thankfully my granddad already had a rivet gun, but it is a manual one. They do make electric ones that make the job a whole lot easier, but all we had was a manual one, and it got the job done for what we needed. But if you had a whole lot of things to do, then I would for sure suggest getting an electric one. But this is how we went back and replaced every single rivet for every patch we done. This was the spot on the roof that if you watched the previous video, you could see we were sawing that off. This was actually the vent cover that was over the top. I would have loved a replacement, but as you can see, this one has seen its better days. So we decided to patch that one up, as well as that place on the door. I will show you in just a second the before on that, if you can remember.
Beat out like this right here.
And
this
there
door
she
panel. I need to
is.
take this off and see what the issue
So
is under this.
I have to say,
But that's
she
gonna be
looks
replaced.
much better. And this is also a sneak peek of the primer. This is one coat in. There will be much more of that to show coming in the next video. I did get my glass in. That glass came in for the bathroom window. And so I chose a fogged finish on this one since it will be in the bath area, just to give some privacy for that rear window. And lastly, here's a little clip of that front after it's done with that coat of primer put on.
Front view.
And a
remind
little
you we
before
have
if you have been
replacement
following
light.
since the very
We're
beginning.
gonna
And that is it until the final paint.